Wrestlemania weekend, and I'm already arguing with Trish Stratus about the importance of Tim Hortons in Canada because you're saying Canadians don't care about Tim Hortons, and I know Canadians who feel differently.
But you said they live in America.
Yes.
So that's their piece of Canada they miss,
Oh.
right? But when you're in Canada, you're like, it's there. It's on every street corner. It's not a big deal.
Do you pop more if you see, like, Dunkin' Donuts?
I kind of think you guys have nice colors. It's colorful.
Don't say you guys. I'm not like...
You guys. You Americans.
You Americans.
You
Dunkin'
Americans.
Donuts? I mean, I don't get a check from Dunkin' Donuts.
Well,
Not all Americans have a piece of Dunkin' Donuts.
What?
I know Canadians all have a piece of Tim Hortons.
We do. Yeah,
That is very
yeah.
true. I'm excited to talk to you.
I'm excited to talk to you.
You are one of the great performers of all time.
Well, thank you.
It's a pretty... And I don't know if you know this.
What?
You're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you're getting inducted to the Hall of Fame.
I didn't get a memo.
No, you did. They've been promoting it quite heavily.
What? They
Although-
always do that. They promote things and don't even tell
say
you.
anything. Although, I don't remember who's inducting you. Who's inducting you?
I will tell you right now. Ready? Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie McMahon.
Yes.
Was that your choice?
It was my choice.
And
Yeah.
that's a very interesting choice.
Tell me why you find this interesting.
When people think of Stephanie McMahon, they think of many things.
Okay. What do you think of when you think of Stephanie McMahon?
Scary.
Okay. Yes, that's fine.
She intimidates me. Much more than her husband does.
Oh.
I find her very intimidating.
Interesting. Yes.
I feel like she just will yell at me on a... She never has,
this
but
is
I...
going back to it's a mommy complex problem thing that we can talk
All right,
about
we'll get to
later.
that later.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Mhm.
I don't know. People... I don't know why it's interesting. Maybe people would have thought Lita or... I don't know. I mean, obviously it makes sense that you're having a woman induct you, although that would have been an interesting curveball of, like,
Well,
Edge or...
to be honest, I considered Fit Finley. And, I thought that, to me, this is
Did
what
Finley
it is.
train you?
Oh, yes. He was my trainer, my mentor. He's the one, what you saw out there, that was him and I with our brains together, putting some stuff together. And he's the guy who inspired me to be a fighter, and really fight out there. But
He loves to fight.
Exactly.
True.
I set you up for that.
I know,
You're
you
welcome. Stephanie to me, and she's remained my friend since if you recall our match, we were quite green at the time. We went into this match and people didn't know what to expect, probably cat fight stuff, but we pulled off, I think, a heck of a match considering our skill level at the time. And that, when you have an experience like that, when you work like that closely with someone, it's an experience and it makes you bond, and so you have that connection with them forever. So we've remained friends since then. Now, what I've watched though is, okay, so we're at the same level as a wrestler, and then I saw her evolve into this business person, evolve into a mother, and so she's taken on these roles, and I think it's empowering to see what she's done. It's inspiring, really, and I admire a strong, powerful female figure. And at the end of the day, the Hall of Fame is a look back on my career. I would have never had a WWE career at all if there was no women's division. The women's division, she was our biggest cheerleader. She was always like, the girls got to do this.
Well, I got to call a woman a cheerleader. Come on, Trish.
She has pom poms.
She carries pom-poms.
Yeah,
I've
no,
heard
she
that.
does, yeah.
She'll wear a business suit with pom-poms.
Oh, well, that's what makes her kind of neat. I think.
That's
who does that?
No, that's what makes her different.
Yeah.
No, so I get that makes sense. Of course it makes sense. I mean, she obviously was she played a pivotal role in your career.
Yeah, for sure.
I think probably what my mind's doing is like Trish.
Your mind is saying me naked. Don't do that.
No,
No?
that is not true at this very moment.
I'm sorry. The expression you made right there just told me that.
That's the vibe you got?
Yeah, it is. I don't know. Maybe you should work on your expressions. Or
Yeah.
something.
Well, that means it's going into the recesses of my mind.
Okay.
It's showing things from last night and Wednesday.
Okay.
Specifically.
That's when you were thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Got
It was just Wednesday.
Thank you.
I got into a weird zone of looking up old matches, and then all of a sudden you start Googling weird things
Yeah.
like Trish Stratus bikini, and before you know it, you're going down a whole weird path.
But you know what? It happens, and it's fine, and I understand that.
Do you Google Peter Rosenberg naked sometimes?
No, I try to avoid it. One time I was going to, and I stopped. I went NAK, and I stopped.
Really? It didn't.
I don't want to go down this route.
Actually, if you type in, I'm so popular. If you go to Google and just type in the letter P, it'll fill in Eater Rosenberg naked. The first thing that comes up.
No kidding.
Yes, because women search that much.
I didn't see that option.
No.
I must have a different Google.
Yeah, no, it's different in Canada.
Oh, different.
You guys
yeah.
still use Alta Vista.
Is it goggle? Because that's what we call it in Canada. It's a little different.
Yeah, goggles
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah.
So Stephanie's gonna be inducting you.
Yes.
I've had a theme today.
You want to know what I'm wearing, right? No. Oh,
Oh
sorry.
my God! How'd you know that? Why aren't you still wrestling? What's the deal? I don't know if you noticed.
Tell me.
The Divas division. The Divas division needs a little help. Dirty little secret going on around here.
Okay. Listen, the Divas division gets a bad name. You are being compared to what we call it the golden era.
But I'm not even talking about the wrestlers in the division.
Okay.
I'm talking about the way the division's been handled
Yes.
the last couple of years.
Yes. Agreed.
Has been bad. and then some key people left.
Yes.
And yes, the talent, it's very green. It does feel green, and people do say that a lot of the girls in recent years have come more from modeling or the diva search or whatever.
Let me stop you there.
Did you come from modeling also? No.
Actually.
You did first?
Way to do your research, buddy.
I was going to say, did you start actually before anything else?
It's the only reason I have almost 100 covers, but anyway.
Oh, it was like fitness modeling?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's still modeling.
It's still modeling. It's modeling.
No, it is.
It's a type of modeling.
Yes.
It's just more athletic and kick butt.
All right, so we're getting away from it, though.
Okay, we are.
And you can say ass today.
Okay, I wasn't sure. You see how I just stopped myself? I was being careful.
Canadians are very polite.
Aren't we, though? Thank you.
So, okay, so tell us why.
Can I say ass? Okay. If you look at what we currently have, and people say, it comes more from the model thing, I think that was a little bit actually before. I think now we're transitioning to a point where it could be potentially what we had at 2001. We have some great athletes. You look at Caitlin, great athlete in the ring. AJ is a great athlete. Natty, Tamia. So actually, what you need to make a division and build a division on are solid athletes first and foremost who can deliver in the ring. And then you got to what's lacking now is the lack of character development. So once they do that and put a little focus into that and do some long-term thinking, which is what we did in 2001. I mean, at that point, we had Jazz, we had me, we had Lita, we had Molly Holly. So we had some solid workers. Then we stopped and we said, okay, let's develop the characters. You two are working, but why are you working? And that's what me and Fit did. Fit and I were like, we need to make sure everyone has, a moveset that's only theirs and maintain the integrity of that. Because there was a point there, a couple years ago where everybody was doing each other's moves, and you can't do that in wrestling. You know that.
I know that, and I'm nobody.
So I think if we just maybe pay a little more attention to the character development.
Yeah, they have no respect for gimmick infringement in the Divas division.
Ridiculous.
They're just like, whatever.
Yeah, what did not make me happy.
Bronco Buster, whatever.
Everybody
do it.
does it. We're girls. We do it.
Yeah.
And then, but now I think we should just, and hopefully we're moving towards that direction. I have faith. Have faith.
There is but here's the thing. I am the very rare, in my opinion, kind of smart Mark who's a big Divas fan. I think it's because I am into women, but also because it's like the best of both worlds, right?
Thank you for answering my question, by the way, because I was wondering
earlier. I know, it's questionable. But it's the best of both worlds because I love wrestling, but hey, every once in a while, you replace the sweaty men with sweaty women, but I still get the wrestling.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Right.
So I'm a big fan of that. So I always watch Diva segments, and I'm always following. And I do feel that in the last year, even more so than the years before that, which weren't great either, there's just been almost no development of any of these girls. And I just had this conversation with AJ. I said, AJ, then this is the part here's the part that bugs me though. AJ gets totally over. I think she's the most over person in the company at one point.
Yep.
But then when she has a match in the ring, the fans don't seem to pay attention. And I've been at shows where it happens. And I'm like, why does everyone tune out? And there's some sort of disconnect. And it wasn't when you and Lita were going at it. That's a rare breed. You guys are two of the best of all time. But there was a different energy.
But also the history. Like, if you just put, me in there, like Amy and I had that history right from the very beginning. Also, for example, me and Victoria started working. So we're like, okay, we can have a match there, great. But let's think about why. So we went, okay, she was a fitness model actually as well. See, glad we brought that up earlier because now it makes sense.
I bet you'll name more. I bet as we go on, there are others.
No.
That's it?
Yeah, that's
okay.
it. And so me and Victoria were fitness models. We went back to the stories. We pulled pictures when we were together in different shows, and we made a story out of it. Let's make it like I came in, you didn't get a chance to go in, you're jealous, and so we made this big storyline. So like now when these two characters get in the ring, there's a reason we're fighting, and it's always about the championship, of course, right? That's what we do. But if it's not driven by a storyline, so that's what happens. AJ is a tremendous character, and you get her, and you understand what she's
thinking. But her
thinking.
involvement was all with men. When she got into the ring with another diva, who cares?
What's the story?
What's
the story?
That's a very good point.
Yeah. Thanks.
You did a good job with that.
Thanks.
What do you think about, in my opinion, and I don't know, it's always funny talking to people because you never know who has heat with who, if anyone does, but in my opinion, one of the most underrated female workers of all time, the great Gail Kim.
Oh, absolutely.
I just think she could have been so much more than I know that she's been, I think, fairly open about the fact that when it was all said and done, she kind of couldn't stand her time, and it was like time for her to go, and it was time to go. But I think she's so awesome in the ring and so beautiful and a different look and has all these things, and it just never became what it should have been.
I completely agree with you. She's one of those, like, you're like, oh, what happened? And to be honest, sometimes you just don't, like, the first time she's around here in the WWE, we actually had a chance. We were about to do a storyline, actually. We had something, it was like me and I was a heel, she was a heel. We were going to do some great thing where we were this, like, like Mean Girls thing. And then she got released. And it was like so out of the blue. We don't know where it happened. It just was like gone. And it was a little disappointing because it was like, oh, there's another great worker that's gone. She did some amazing stuff in TNA, and to me, I was watching as a fan, going, okay, now she's gonna come back, and then be like, they probably like, I can't believe we let that go. She's gonna come back, she's gonna do it, and it's gonna elevate everything. And I swear to God, I tuned in and saw her in dresses each week, and I was like, no, don't do that stuff. It was crazy. They just didn't utilize her.
And she came back. But the thing that always blows my mind about this company, I'll understand one day, I hope, is I was like, I just didn't understand why she came back. I was like, she came back, and then my favorite thing is her final exit from WWE is one of the best things of all time. If you've never seen it before on YouTube, you can look it up. When she eliminated herself from a battle royal, there was something satisfying as someone who was a fan of her at the time, and just being like, whatever.
That's right. You don't.
Exactly. I'm out of here.
Yeah, totally.
She's someone who stood out to me. Now, my theme of the day, in terms of female wrestling, has been Sensational Sherry.
Yes. Okay.
I've just been on a Sherry kick the last couple weeks, so I just wanted to get your thoughts and impressions of Sherry Martel. And did you ever get to meet her? Because there was crossover there.
Yep.
So what was that like?
Met her, loved her. She's such a wonder. She was just such a wonderful person. And it's funny because there's not too many like role models. And, like people, that's the first question I got asked: who was your role model coming into the world of wrestling? And really, there was no females to really look up to. There was no real role for the female until we created one, I guess you could say. Dare I say? And she, her character. She's so character driven, right? I mean, if I said I would love to be a heel wrestler and have her manage me, and just like, it would be like just amazing. And I learned a lot from her.
Has there been a female wrestler with a female manager?
No, right?
I can't think of it.
Guess I gotta put my. Don't have
Is
to put
there
my boots on.
Ernie, a heel female wrestler with a heel manager?
No.
Two females. Sorry, female wrestler, female manager. I mean, when Cyndi Lauper, like guest spots like
that works.
And that worked in the moment.
What's her name?
Evidently not. The answer is nothing that's obviously standing out to mind
in
enough.
our minds, right? So that could be something
that would have been tight.
That would have been tight.
It would have been tight.
Maybe there's some potential there.
Do you know Drake?
Yes.
Well,
like just because I know Canada's actually a really big country, people think.
But it's not in a weird way.
Well,
you guys
right.
do all know
no,
each
no.
other.
I don't know Drake personally. But
have you seen him before?
I've seen him at an event. It was a red carpet, and it was Much Music is like our MTV.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe you didn't know.
Come on. I spent a lot of my ex-girlfriend went to UT Scarborough.
Okay.
So I used to spend a lot of time in Toronto.
I appreciate that. Okay.
I don't know why I'm acting like you should know that about me, but you should.
Or I should know your girlfriend probably because we live in Canada.
Yeah, no, you probably did. I mean, roughly the same age. By the way, do you ever get older? How old are you? I mean, you look like you should be
wrestling
working.
tomorrow. Sunday.
You still have one more match. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. I do.
You're gonna do one more. Does Lita have one more in her?
I believe she does.
Because I don't know if you guys are aware. So throw it out here.
Mm-hmm.
Next year is WrestleMania 30.
Right.
It's arguably the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
Absolutely. Yes.
So you're still young and in great shape. I haven't seen Lita physically recently, but I'm sure
I'll assure you she is looking awesome.
That she looks awesome.
Yes.
That could be interesting.
I like that. I'm going to let that simmer, ponder it,
What about, I know it's not the female manager thing we discussed, but what about Jewish male American manager?
I think that could work.
But I'll do the Sherry thing and I'll like have a purse and hit her with the purse.
Are you going to be like cross-dressing though?
See, now it's
I don't want that.
Not like the Goldust, like a.
It's just been done.
Yeah, it's been done. So what direction do we go with it then?
I think you wear the headphones just because it's like your thing,
Not plugged into anything.
And then you're always like, I hear you. I don't know.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
You should start writing. You know what?
Yeah.
You don't need to be in the ring. You'd be writing.
I could be.
What do you do every day? What's the day in the life of Trish Stratus besides working out and being fitnessy, which I know takes a lot of your time? What else do you do?
It does take a lot of my time. I have a brand in Canada. It's called Stratosphere, which you know.
I do know that.
I continuously just develop my brand. I swear, I'm a workaholic. I work probably like 18 hours a day. But I love what I do. We create campaigns, proposals, and I just have a lot of great partnerships right now where I'm just perpetuating my brand, and it's a lot of fun.
So what is the brand? To sum it up.
Because you don't know.
Elevator pitch. I know it.
It's a fitness lifestyle company.
Okay, I did know it was fitness related.
Okay, so I have a studio up in Toronto.
Okay.
And then I also have a line of products at in stores and retail.
What kind of products?
Like yoga mats, yoga accessories, fitness accessories, etc. So everything to give you a healthy and balanced life. So it's something that I fell in love with yoga during my wrestling career. I was faced with possibly having surgery at one point with a herniated disc, and I healed it through yoga. The last quarter of my career, when you saw me kicking kicking ass, because I can say ass now,
Yes.
is that yoga in me was just letting me do what I did. It let me recover better. It let me be a better performer. And when I retired, it was something that I loved and went into. So I started it like, I love yoga so much, I want everyone to do it, so I'm going to open a studio. And it sort of just ended up organically perpetuating itself to the brand, just becoming this overall thing where now there's products and there's DVDs, etc. So it's kind of a nice organic growth.
Wow. Is Stratisfaction guaranteed?
Of course.
Duh. I got to let you go. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
And your run with Mickey was awesome as well.
Wasn't it though?
Really fun.
Yeah.
That was one of the last. You could say that's one of the last big storylines for the girls, except
100%.
for Michelle and Layla. They had like a big thing, but not as that was big.
The thing that Layla had was they were like these. They didn't have anyone to be against though. That's the problem.
They were
right?
just mean generally.
Yeah, and overall, and it worked, but they didn't have that like epic feud that like when those two clash with X insert nobody.
And then tell me why Layla came back babyface, because it makes no sense.
I don't think it makes sense either.
Why would she come back?
Don't tell anybody.
Why would you hear that music and pop for her? That
know.
music meant bad.
Hey, there's been times though, if you recall.
Yes,
I left as a bad
But you're
girl.
different. You're in a different place because Layla at this point had just developed into like, okay,
True.
she's bad.
And I liked her bad.
Oh, I loved. They were so good.
So good.
They were so mean. I loved it.
That's when I got I've left when I retired very satisfied. I left with
Stratified.
No, I was satisfied with my Stratisfaction and being
Okay.
stratified.
Got it.
And so I felt like I'd done everything I wanted to do. The only time I got the itch, never regret it by the way. The only time I got the itch was I had this rash that was. So sorry, I digress. No,
that's weird.
I was watching Natty and Beth, and I thought, oh, I want a piece of that. The next time was when I watched Lake Wolf.
You mean sexually or you mean in the ring?
No, I meant sexually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you said it so quickly. I
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
sure.
I meant sexually for sure.
You were like, I want to come back and make them humble in the ring. That's what
That's
you're
right.
thinking. I know. In
Yeah.
front of the fans.
No, I was sexually speaking, of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, that makes sense.
'cause
That was
I-
the only thing. So it was just them that made you want to come back? Beth and
Natty, and then watching Lake
Lake
Cool.
Cool.
And then, of course, I was very lucky. I got to come back work with Beth. I worked with Michelle, and so I got a little taste of it. But I never got to work. I would love to have had one-on-one with Layla as well. I think she's a great heel.
I want to see you work with the #1 diva all time. Of course, I'm talking about Maria Menounos. Ladies and gentlemen, her name is Trish Stratus. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And congrats on the Hall of Fame. Well
Thanks.
deserved.
Thanks, I appreciate it.